Happy December. Pretty close. I'm filming this in the last few days of November. And December is one of my 12 most favorite months. And the reason being because not only is it so many holidays for so many different belief systems and they're all festive and fun, it's also my birthday. I was born a week before Christmas, December 18th. And my mom was always very careful to make my birthday and Christmas very separate. So the Christmas tree was held off. There was nothing put up Christmassy. It was all about my birthday on December 18th, and then December 19th hits, and it's like, boom, Christmas tree, all the Christmas came up because we only had a week. And I had separate presents and separate cakes. I never felt like it was a problem having a birthday close to Christmas. So I'm a Sagittarius, and Sagittarians love to party. We love the festivity. So at least that's what I've read, and that's true about me, except now in my middle ages, I prefer my parties to just be very small, very small, very small. Like just me and Jack, my dog. That's good. I could probably handle one other person. But no, I live in a cabin in the woods and it's very cold here. So you see me bundled up, but you probably will see throughout this video changes in clothing and changes in lighting. I'm doing winter pages in unusual places. And this is kind of a new seasonal type video I want to do because I have to really watch my money and my spending. So being budget conscious and also as a Buddhist nun and, you know, a lot of part of my practice is not collecting a lot of material things. I find a lot of joy in shopping in my own stash when I need a certain type of picture. So I do get caught up in the buying craze, and I don't do hauls because I never buy a whole lot at once, but I watch all of your flips and I love them. It's like window shopping. And then when I really can't live without, I purchase it. So pretty much everything I have, you guys have. So I have a pretty open source common type of book collection, and I don't have very many dedicated Christmas books or even winter books. So I thought, I need to go on Amazon and purchase some, but wait, hold up, Hoss. I'm a little low on cash. I'm very low on space. Why don't I just go into my stash and do what I did for Halloween, where I looked for spooky pages in no, it wasn't Halloween. It was mermaid because I didn't have any dedicated mermaid books. So I just went looking for mermaids in non-mermaid books, and it was so much fun. So I did that again. And this is not only Christmas because actually it's probably about 50-50. It's winter and Christmas because not everybody celebrates Christmas, but we do all look at the fingerprints I'm leaving on here. Okay, I can't help but do this now. I turned the page because I did it to the pages before, but I put some lotion on, and now we'll just pretend this paper's now ruined. We'll just pretend that this is snow. All right, perfect. So I'm going to do winter pages in unusual places. It's kind of a funny name. And we're going to look at some books. But this is going to be the whole reason I was telling you about my change in clothes is that it is freezing in Oregon right now. And my cabin is very, very cold. But I don't have a wood stove. For some reason, the person built a log cabin, but put in a propane fireplace. So it has a fan that runs. So I can't run it when I'm filming. So I can't do filming for a long period of time because I get very cold. So the fan just turned off. I can feel the heat kind of slowly going away. So I'm going to film probably most of my filming in December is going to be done in chunks so I can turn the fire back on. Okay. Jack's asleep and snoring behind me in case you hear him, and let's get started. So the first place I want to look at is PDFs. Mostly for selfish reasons because I want to get started on coloring quite a few of these. I decided that I was not going to do any Christmas in November. I was just going to transition from Halloween from the spooky to the wintry and the cool. And I also discovered PDFs in October. So I went back to my favorite PDF artists and I pulled out some and I purchased some. So let's look at what we can find on Etsy. So this one here is a new to me artist. And this is, and I do have their names and all their information on the back. So let me flip it over real quick, make sure I've got all the information. Right, this is, and I will put the name right here across the screen. This is Fern Brown Artwork. And Fern Brown is on Etsy. Fern Brown and Annie Brown Artwork are two separate, and you will see pictures from both. They're a mother-daughter. And so Fern Brown artwork on Etsy. She has sort of a Tatiana Bogema-Stilova vibe. She has delightful pages. I mean, she's got this penguin series, and all of her books are downloadable. And then there's also individual pages that are downloadable, and then packets of 3 to 6. There's a lot of different ways you can buy her artwork. I don't really find much joy in coloring penguins, so I didn't download that, but I tell you, the cutest ones she's got are these penguin Christmas ones. You have to go to her site and look at them. They're some of the most adorable Christmas pictures I've ever seen. But this is part of her dollhouse series. She does like this dollhouse, and then she does various things in the dollhouse. Like I think she has a dollhouse with foxes and a dollhouse with bunnies. She does have a bunny series. She has a mouse series. I just discovered her, and I think she's delightful. Now her dollhouse series is very different from some of the rest. The rest is all scenes and stuff, very Tatiana-like. But I kind of was into this intricacy, this is kind of small stuff, but not too small. And for me, I like pages that tell a story. And for me, these look like little elves, and they're like making toys, and there's a bed. I love the hay right in the middle of the house. It must be for the reindeer that you're down here. I just think this is adorable and tells a story. So this is one that I'm probably going to start on tonight. I'm actually going to play with some pencils on this. I know, shock of shocks. But I don't know, I'm kind of in a pencil mood, and it will probably, if I start here, my pencil mood will probably last to right here, and then I'll be like, forget it, and it'll be alcohol markers again. The nice thing about PDFs is you can use whatever you want and print it out on whatever paper you want. So that's Fern Brown Artwork, and she's on Etsy. And one thing I've also noticed is if you're kind of on the fence, put the page in your cart. And then sometimes they have their site set up that if a purchase sits in a cart and doesn't get purchased, you'll get sent a coupon, like a 10% coupon or a 15% comeback coupon, that kind of stuff. So you can even get it for a few less pennies and cents. I also wait for sales. She was having a nice sale at the end of November. And if you're watching this right away, the sale's happening right now. And I think they're like $1 or something for each one of these. So pretty good prices. Anyway, check her out, Fern Brown Artwork. Okay, so the oily fingerprints from my lotion was driving me nuts. Imagine what I'm doing to these pages. So I turned the page on this one, got us a new background. Now this is everybody's favorite. This is R.J. Hampson. I don't have any of his books because I don't like the doubles until just the most recent books. I do like that he has doubles where like one is night and one is day, or there's slight changes. I think that's very clever. But now he's got this, the hardback book with a slightly better paper, but that doesn't have the doubles. So I'm kind of confused on what to buy. I don't really want another Amazon printed book. So I've just been downloading what I can get. Now his books are not, he's not on Etsy. He's on this website here. It's rjhampson.com. I'll put it across here. And he doesn't have his full books downloadable. I've asked him on every social media of his I can find because I want to just download his books. I just want to buy them. I don't want to deal with all the printing problems. But what he does have is really cool. He has a lot of $5.50 US packets, and they are packets of 6. So that's less than, and 50 cents of that is some sort of tax in his country. And so that is less than $1 a page, which is fantastic. And they're curated packs. So for example, this pack comes from, I think it's called, I had a brain fart. It's his Frog's Tail pack, but it's not all the and there's 6 pictures, but not all of them are from Frog's Tail, which is so cool. But it is Mr. Fogarty. And I think it's called Mr. Fogarty Tells a Tale, and it's the six pack. And he's got 3 pages from A Frog's Tale, 1 page from Night Garden, and 2 pages from Forest Song that are in this packet, but they're all Mr. Fogarty. So he's curated pages of Mr. Fogarty from all of his books, put them in a 6-pack, and you can purchase it. Very cool. He has a lot of packets like that, where like one is cats, and he's taken cats from all of his books, and one is night scenes he's taken from his books, and one is pictures that are in round circles he's taken. And so you can get samplings of all of his books in one packet based around a theme. Then he also has packets that are from a single book, like Houses 2 or Steampunk or whatever, and it has 6 pages from that book. So very, very few of us finish coloring an entire book. I mean, honestly. So for $5.50, you can get 6 pages that you probably will color. And 6 pages in a book is a lot for me. I mean, if I color 6 pages in a book, that must be a book I really, really like. So you can actually look at the pages and see what you like. Also, if you join his newsletter, you get a couple pages for free that are, and his newsletter pages that he colors that come free with his newsletter are not included in any books. However, he does have a packet of 6 of his pages that he's colored for newsletters. So there are packets on his website of pages that have never been published or released. So if you want even more RJ Hampson, go to rjhampson.com. You can get these 6 image packets and print them out on whatever size, whatever paper you want. He does not, I didn't see any Christmas ones available on that site. I didn't look through every single packet, but I really, really like Mr. Fogarty the Frog, and I wanted something of his. So I bought this packet, and then when I was looking more closely, I'm like, oh, this is Wingtree right here. He's cozy by the fire. He's got his stocking cap on and his pipe. And I'm just like, I'm going to make this into a winter page. So this is probably something you're going to see for my November completed pages. All right, let's look at the next one. Okay, I don't think I have to even tell you who this is, do I? This, of course, is Klara Markova. And this is a free page. This is free. She's not on Etsy. Her books are there for a pretty penny. But if you would like to get this page, she also has Christmas gift tags and Christmas cards and all kinds of free items you can download off of her website. And here's her website. She has labels you can use for jars or gifts. Oh my God, I'm totally distracted by my lotiony hands. Anyway, so this is the one Christmas full page she has, and isn't it adorable? Oh my gosh, look at it. I need it in my life. So this is definitely, I love Klara Markova. I have nothing of hers. I have tried every which way come Sunday to get that Most Fairy Touch of Magic book. That's the one I really want. And they're just so expensive with shipping and stuff. I just haven't made it happen. But this is just delightful. I can't wait to do this. And you know, the neat thing I have found since I started doing PDFs is I feel like I can experiment more, because if I really don't like it, I just toss it, print it again, which is unusual for me. I almost always will try to work through a nightmare to make it something pretty at the end. However, there's a page coming up that is my second printing of the page, because I just could not salvage the mess that I made. And that's delightful. I feel like it frees me up to try new things. So I feel like my coloring is growing in ways that it wasn't growing before, because I get to experiment with these PDFs. So nice. All right, let's look at another one. All right. This is the one that this is my second printing. I know you're like, who are you, Candice? Like, that does not look like your type of coloring at all. I saw this and I couldn't stand how cute it is. This is from Kawaii Tash on Etsy. She is a journalist. And so what she does is she makes digital packets for you to print to put in your journals. And she has some colorings, a different kawaii type coloring for the front page of your journal for every month. But what she does is you can download it, and when you download it, you get a dark version and a lighter version. I think this is the lighter printed version. I think there's even a heavier lined version than this. And you also get a dark and a medium lined version of one that has the month on it. So this is January, and I think the print that has I think the month is here or something. I didn't print that out because I'm not using this for a journal. It's so clever though. So if you journal, you can actually print these out for your cover page and it says January on it, or you can print the version that doesn't have the word in it and use it as a coloring page. She's very clever. And I just thought this was so adorable. It's got things that, I mean, there's my cabin right there. My cabin looks just like that. And then there is glass, a snow globe, which is my favorite Christmas bauble of all time. And then there's more glass there of a drink, which I've grown to really like coloring glass. Look at the carrots, the little teacups. This is adorable. And so I had visions of doing this in nothing but pastels. Now, if you follow me, you know where I'm going, because that never ends up happening. I just don't have the gene to be able to color pastels, I think. So every time I've tried, I might get one or two things pastel and the rest of it ends up being vivid, bright, dark. So I tried. I decided I know what I want it to look like in my head. But I took a medium and I took it to work with me, but I took some paints to work with me that don't have those colors. So it came out looking very fall-like, and I had about like a third of it done, and I just didn't like it at all. I tried to change it, and I just couldn't do anything with it. I had the wrong medium. It didn't have so I tossed it. It felt very weird to throw away a coloring because I never do that. I never abandon coloring. But it also was freeing because I'm going to go back and I'm now going to use alcohol markers. I was hesitant to because these are kind of big spaces for me for alcohol markers. But I think that's the only medium I have that can give me the look I want. So, and it is my favorite medium. And see, that's the other thing, is that when you print out something on a page, you can use your favorite medium no matter what it is. If it's watercolor, you print it out on watercolor paper. If your printer doesn't take watercolor paper like mine doesn't, you could take it somewhere and have it printed. This is not watercolor paper. This is thicker cardstock, but I do use watercolor on this. I will not be for this page though. So this is Kawaii Tash. She doesn't have a lot of downloadable, what I would say are coloring pages, but what she does have is absolutely adorable. The November page, which you can purchase and then print out without the November on it, is full of like warm, cozy drinks. And it's a neat one too. I purchased that one as well, but I decided I wanted to do this one for December. All right, so let's look at someone else on Etsy. So I bet you can figure out who this is, especially since she is in the Coloring Heaven Christmas special this month. This is Rena Art, and actually this picture is in that book. I printed it out on the lightest. She has light, medium, dark. She might even have 4. She has 3 or 4 levels of line coloring. This is the lightest. Because I don't really want the lines to show, because this little sparkle baby is called Lantern. Oh, I have it on the back here. Magic Flashlight. I don't know why. I call it Sparkle Baby. And I just love, I'm not into babies, but the baby face is cute. But all of this sparkly light, I'm really intrigued with how to do that and how to make it shine off her face. Now, Rena Art has already done a lot of the shading for you. And if you print out the slightly darker or even the darkest print, you'll have that shading much more pronounced. But I really want to, again, try to do this in softer colors. Now, Rena Art tends to do different ethnicities, and this baby is dressed more in like indigenous Eskimo type or Siberian type clothing. And so I'm going to be looking up some like, I think like Siberian sounds cool. And some of the nomadic Siberians, which I love to learn about, and look up their clothing and kind of make this like a hide that she's wearing, he's wearing, and, you know, try to match the skin tone, and then try to make this more of a really neat, just a really different sort of picture. Probably not even any reds in it at all. So I'm really looking forward to doing this one. Oh, candy canes in the pocket. Yes, very cute for me, isn't it? I know. I've got the desire to do cute. I just don't often commit to it and follow through. And here's one of Rena Art's. Very different. You grab the info on the back. This one's called Present, and I printed this one out on the darkest setting. So these are the, you know, when you buy one of her pictures, and it's at Coloring Books 2020, right here across the screen on Etsy. Rena has, when you purchase it, you get 3 or 4, I'm not remembering exactly, versions of it. And it starts light like this, and then goes up to the darkest. So you can print out whichever version matches the medium you're using. I want to use alcohol markers on this girl, and so I printed the darker version. And this is Present, and isn't she awesome? I just love her facial expression and her eyes. I love the hair. I love everything about this. And I've had my eye on it since October, and I finally purchased it for December. Now, I spend anywhere from $1.50 to $3.20 per PDF. I think over $3 is expensive. So usually if I find one for $3, I wait and see if a coupon shows up in my cart or if they have a sale, and then I purchase it. Rena's are always very affordable. I think right now they're $1 something for, you know, the Black Friday sale, the Cyber Monday sales, but they're never $3. They're always, you know, $2 some. They're always well priced. She also has packets, but I tend to just buy the single ones because I usually just, my eye lights on one and I just love it. I have done a couple of hers already, and for October, and I just think her pictures color up so nicely. So if you like this picture, but you don't want to get the Coloring Heaven special, or if you like this picture and want it on your own paper, it's on her site. In fact, I think all but one of the ones that are in the Coloring Heaven special are on her site. The one with the sweater is on her site. All those, yeah, you can download them from her Etsy shop. All right, let's look at one more. I think I have one more. I lied. I have more than one more artist to spotlight. Now, this is a new to me artist. This is Annie Brown artwork. Now, this, we looked at Fern Brown. This is Annie Brown, their mother, daughter. I think this Annie is the daughter. I'm not sure. I could have that backwards. And this is called Winter Dream. Now, this is a rather more simply drawn page than I normally like to color, but I think she's stunning. And I think this page is going to be all about the background. And I've never done a page that had the focal point was a very dramatic, beautiful background with all those snowflakes and stuff and her crown. And I currently have no idea what I'm going to do or what it's going to end up looking like, but I'm really excited to play with some of the tips that I've learned from you all on how to do backgrounds, different kinds of backgrounds. I'd like to use something like my pastels, which I have a cheap brand that I don't use very often, and I'd like to use them on this maybe, or maybe something I can, I've got some ideas. I'm not great with distress ink. I love distress ink. Love it. Wish I was better at it. So maybe I'll practice with it on this. But I do know that I'm going to start with the background because when I screw up, I can throw this away and get another one and print another one until I make something that I really like. So I'm really excited about this page. I think this will be really neat. And this is Annie Brown artwork Etsy shop, separate than her mother's. And I think together they have a shop as well where they do dual art. But they're both artists with different styles and very beautiful. All right, this is a new to me as well artist. This is Zoe Sadler from Zoe Sadler Inc. on Etsy. Her artwork is phenomenal. It's so well done and so cute and so different from everybody else's. I have actually purchased a lot from her. She has these beautiful series of wishing wells that I bought. And then I also bought a book of mermaids that she has, a mermaid book that she has that's completely different from any other mermaid book I've ever seen. She's very imaginative and very talented. So this is her Santa Claus, it's called Christmas Santa Claus packet. And there's two. There's this one where Santa's trying to save the tree and trying to decorate the tree and not doing a very good job of it. And then there's this one where Santa's sitting on some presents and juggling them. And both of them, and look at the pie. He's juggling a pie. I don't know. This Santa's having problems. Both of these are available together. They're a packet. You get them both. I really wanted this one, but I may not end up coloring this one because I got a lot on my plate, and that's just a lot of presents for me. But this one I really want to color, and who knows, maybe I'll get to that one too, because her Santa Clauses are very, very cute. So Zoe Sadler Inc. has this. It's a very great price. Her pages are very affordable, and her mermaid book is just amazing. If you go onto her Etsy shop, take a peek at that mermaid book. It's really cool. And she has, again, I like pictures that tell a story. So there's a story going on in all of her pages. So she's probably one of my very favorite new artists that I've met and love. She has that kind of cartoony but not too childlike style that I like. And I really can't wait to get my hands on this guy. All right, one more. This is the last of my Etsy artists that I'm showcasing in this video. And you all know who this is, right? One of my very favorite artists. This is Tatiana Bogema-Stolova, of course. And she has a nice little town with the mice in it, Christmas 4, out now. You can purchase the book on Etsy, but Tatiana has in her shop, she has, and I'll put it here because I'm trying to remember if I got this off Etsy or if it's her own. Or if it's her, I'm having a brain fart, if this is on Etsy or her own website. So I'll put it right across here where it is. But all of her books are available, even books that you can't get anymore that are very hard to find. They're available for download. And it solves the stupid paper problem, right? Because her pictures, just like Matchstick Mouse, just like everything else, her pictures are adorable. And of course, the paper is crap. So, which I don't mind Amazon printed paper, but these pages are so delightful for me. I just want to really enjoy the coloring experience more. You know, it's okay for a Matchstick Mouse or something that doesn't take very long, but these take a little bit of time, and I don't want to spend that much time fighting that paper. I really don't. So I also have to say that I have her Christmas 3. I do have a couple of her Christmases, and I'm agreeing with what a lot of other colorists are saying recently. This is her best one. So if you don't have any of her Christmas books, or if you've bought them before and you're like, meh, the 4 is steps up the good scale. This is that didn't make any sense whatsoever, but it is markedly different and better. I think she's maturing, and it's not that they're more intricate, it's just they're more interesting. And they're more easily colored, I think. There's a lot going on, but there's nothing too small that can't be colored. It's just very thoughtful for the colorist. And every single page in this book I want to do. So, sneak peek, I do have a buddy color with the wonderful, full, and fabulous Disney Megs. And it's our first buddy color today. And I don't mind giving sneak peeks, but I couldn't. It's for December, but I couldn't help myself. I started, and it's this page, and this, I'm just basing it in watercolors right now. Actually, this is Tim Holtz watercolor pencils, and then I'm going over it with some pencils. Very fussy for me. I don't normally spend that much time. I normally would do like alcohol markers, and at times I'm wondering why I'm doing this way, but I'm really wanting to give it a more softer feel. So I haven't, this is all still based and hasn't gone over with the pencils, but I'm enjoying this very much. I keep going away from it because I need to be doing other things. This is for December, but I was excited to buddy with Disney Megs, and I also am really, I've been feeling a little anxiety, and I've been needing cozy looking pictures. Although for my Instagram, you probably can't tell that because all my pictures are scary. But I have been wanting to do some coziness, and this just reminds me, I don't think I ever was read to while I was in bed like this, but I think it's something I would have liked. And look at the clothes hanging up. It's just adorable. So this is going on my December plate, but I will do this one probably with alcohol markers because I do that. I do glass and stuff and light effects better with that. But I was just trying something different. Again, this is new. I've never done this before. And if at some point I'm fighting with it too much and I don't really like it, I'll toss it and I'll reprint it and do it differently. So that's the nice thing, is I feel like I can just take chances. And this has had quite a bit of water thrown on it. You can see it's wrinkled a little bit, this paper. This is not watercolor paper, and it's not even super thick, but it's plenty thick for what I'm going to use it for. So that's Tatiana Bogema-Solova, another way of getting hers on paper you like, and just getting maybe books that aren't available anymore. It's all there. And now, so that is the wrap up of the PDFs. There are more out there. Kevin Teo Art has some really, he's on Etsy, and he has some really fun Christmas stuff. If you watch Disney Meg's haul for November, she has, she showcases the ones that he's got in this month's Coloring Heaven Christmas special. He's got 3 or 4 really cute ones, and he has got some downloadable. He's got a Christmas packet on his site, just like he had the Halloween packet of 3 pages that you can download, purchase and download. His PDFs tend to be on the higher end scale. They tend to be over $3. But again, and you'll never see sales offered really. But the packets of paper, the packets of pages are worth it. And I find that I just absolutely love coloring him. He's also got an Advent option, and you guys should check it out. It's like $40, but what it is he personally sends you a new picture that's only for that Advent in your inbox. So it's like having an Advent book, but you really can't look ahead. He sends it to you, and you can go back and purchase older years or look at older years and see what they were like. But I think, how cool would that be to have and I think he sends you the first, you might send them a week at a time. I don't know. I looked into it and I thought, oh my God, that would be so neat to have something sent that I love the surprise factor. So it'd be like, ooh, a new book, I can't remember if it's weekly or daily, but you'd get this new packet of images. And so it's not an Advent, but it's like his end of the year. I guess he does this. So check out his Etsy site if you're look into that and see if you're interested in something like that. And look around on Etsy. Etsy's hard right now because 90% of the artwork on there is AI and it's just pumped out. But if you look, and the folks who are using AI are not saying they're using AI, and so it's pretty sneaky. But you could kind of tell it all looks the same, and there's lots and lots and lots and lots and lots, way more than what someone who's hand drawing artwork would be able to produce. Plus, if someone is not using AI right now on Etsy, they're making it very well known because they don't like it either. So they're putting hand drawn or no AI or things like that. So that's very helpful. I have yet to find an AI artist who is putting that on there. I think they know better than that because I think they'd get the wrath of the social media world. So if it doesn't say anything, it's more than likely AI. So look for words like hand drawn. Created doesn't mean drawn. So I found that the AI artists will use created or made for you, things like that. They keep the word hand drawn out of it. So that fooled me once. I thought something that was created was hand drawn, but I kind of looked into it and it wasn't. So if you don't have the eye to tell what's AI or not, look at the amount of images they've got, look if they've got radically different styles of images, and look at their description. If there's nothing in their about section about themselves, if you can't find anything about them, it's AI. A real artist is going to put something personal about themselves. They're trying to get their art out there, and they're going to say hand-drawn. Some of them draw on digitally, like using Procreate but they're using an Apple Pen on Procreate. They're still drawing it. It's still not just images taken from the internet and smushed together. So, and I'm fine with that. So, yes. So this first unusual place we're looking at is the internet, largely Etsy, and artist personal websites. And you can find free to very affordable purchases there. So, but they're still purchases, right? So now let's look at some books that are probably in your stash. Some you may have already thought about. Maybe they do have a winter theme. We'll probably get those out of the way first. But then let's look at some that you may not have thought about to look at for winter and Christmas pictures. All right, see you in a bit. All right, so I'm going to now go through an entire pile of Mythographics and Mythogorias. They are my favorite book to color in, so I do have quite a few of them. There are a couple that are winter themed. However, there are wintry pictures in almost every one. So let's look and see if we can find more winter pages in unusual places. And I'd like to first start with this one because it is the first one on my pile. I have a big pile here. So it's a Mythogoria. The only difference between Mythographics and Mythogoria is Mythogorias are spooky. Fabiana Attanasio does a lot of them. And the paper is slightly less nice. It's a little thinner. I don't use much water on these pages. I can't use as much water on these pages as Mythographics, but I don't know why that is either, because they're made by the same people. So, but I don't know why. But in the Mythogoria Darkest Desires, a Gothic romance, which is one of our newer ones by Fabiana Attanasio, we have the very first page. This one came out in September of 2023 this year. I've seen a lot of you do this page, and it's been beautiful. I haven't done it myself simply because, gosh, I love what you guys have done so much. I'm waiting to get inspired. I have a lot of inspirations to make her more woodlandy greens, so I probably wouldn't make this a wintry picture. However, this is a gnarled, deadish looking tree with not very many leaves. This one could easily be made into with these wispy stuff. It could be made with snow on the ground. This definitely could be a wintry page and make her in more of a wintry woodland creature who just happens to be holding a broken mirror with a heart in it. Yeah. Did I say it was Mythogoria? It's Mythogoria. All right, let's see another one. Okay, this one I thought, this is a really gruesome one even for me, but these are bells ringing with ice. And so like if you were so inclined to color some Christmas bells, well, these are unusual bells. There's going to be a lot of blood splatter, but it might look really cool in a wintry scene that, deep red on the icy white and the red, you could put these little, what looks like something on the bricks could be snow or blood. This is a very gory one. However, if you've got a dark sense of humor, this could be really fun, making these like into Christmas bells with severed heads for the clappers. All right, another one that I think is something that I am actually going to attempt this year is this one reminds me of the ghost in the first ghost that Scrooge encounters, the ghost of Bob Cratchit in Scrooge, and who tells him he's going to see the three ghosts of Christmas, past, present, and future. And because he's got the chains, he's chained, and he's holding a lantern. He's definitely dressed in an old-time garb. He's in a cathedral-type building. And the cool thing, and he's got a cane, a walking stick. What I love about him is that he is transparent. Now, his head and face aren't, and his hands aren't, which is good because those are hard to draw and to color transparently. But the rest of him is. His chest is not, but all of his clothing is. So it would be really fun to make him transparent, which I've seen some people really do that well. And you're basically just taking muted, lighter versions of the colors you're using back here. So it looks like they're muted. So it looks like you're looking through something gauzy at them. And this would be a really, really fun one to do. I definitely would have to utilize some pencils, I think. I could base it, but I think for shading and stuff, because this is so soft and you want a really soft transitions and such, I think I would try to use pencils. But there's some nice spoopy type foggy stuff. This would be a really fun picture, I think, to do for Christmas. And then the last one that I found in this particular book is this one. Now, I don't know what this creature is, but isn't he cool? Like, look, he's got like clawed hands and this long, possibly, it reminds me of a plague doctor, but a skull, and that maybe that's what this is. Actually, might be like a ghoulish version of a plague doctor because he's in robes and he's got that crazy hair. And then lots of skulls and candles. The reason I say this is a winter picture is this is falling snow, I'm pretty sure. I mean, you could make these little blobs into anything, but they very much look like falling snow. And then there's candles. He's in a cave of sorts or an old cathedral thing. There are some crystals back here. And back here, this is either the further back into the cave or maybe it's outside. I would color this that this is the night sky. And that he's inside some old ruins that are inside some stone, perhaps, maybe an old place of rituals and rites. And then these are candles on top of bricks, I think. So it's like he's in some ruins. And this is a really cool one. And this could definitely, I think, is a winter picture. And this is one that's on my list too, because I'd love to play with all these light sources. All right, and that's the ones that I found that could really adapt well to a winter theme in this particular book. Let's look at a mythographic. All right, let's look at Mythographic Magical Earth. Now, I have colored in almost every single one of my mythographics, but this one I have not. It's fairly new to me. As you can see, it's not even dinged or dirty. This one's by Joseph Kattenbang. I get these usually off of Book Outlet because they're super cheap, but not right away. They have to get, a little bit old before they get super cheap. So the brand new ones, I wait until they end up there and I can get them cheap. So this was a pretty new purchase for me. Now, this is sort of Mythographics answer to, this reminds me of Kirby Rosanna's World Within Worlds a whole lot. So I expected a lot more winter scenes, but I only found two. One is this one. I think I've seen some of you do this one. This one is so on my list to do. In fact, when we get done here, I'm going to tag it. Look at all these beautiful lanterns, right? And snowflakes and northern lights. I mean, this page could be so much color. Even though there is an ice floe, there is water, and there's a giant polar bear, all the color is going to be around the subjects. So I've got a million ideas running through my head for this one, but definitely darker sky with the northern lights, and then all these beautiful lanterns, a darker ocean, and then maybe almost a glowing bear. Being, if they're mostly white, they're going to really stand out. So I think this is a neat page, and so this is definitely one I've got on my radar for this month. The only other one that's in here that's could be considered winter is this one. Now, I think this could be any season. This just could be a bunny taking a nap, but I kind of thought of it as as these bunnies are going into hibernation. There are a lot of leaves still on the trees and such, but it is kind of cool because I didn't notice this when I first looked at it, but look at what's in the dirt around the burrow. There's like crystals and a skull, like a dinosaur skull, and dinosaur bones and crystals and gems and jewels. This would be fun to color. It really would. It's much more interesting to me now that I see these things that are actually in. I think this is it's all just like rocks and fossilized things with chunks of crystals and such and roots growing in and out. It's very, very neat. So this one would be a nice one. You could make this wintry, give it a winter feel, and this would be nice. But that is all that is in this book. This book is a lot of spring and summer, and you know, just aliveness. It's a beautiful book. I think I've just overlooked it in recent days because everything I saw in here, I want to color. So I know a lot of you have colored this sloth page and this dragon page. There's just so many great pages in here. So definitely, I think I'll keep this one out and work on that polar bear picture. So now let's look at another mythographic. Okay, this one's brand new. This is Deep Blue by Fabiana Attanasio. This is one where I did not wait for it to become cheaper because I am a huge fan of coloring underwater. So an idea of a whole mythographic that is underwater was thrilling to me. And I have to say, when I first saw the flip throughs, it was so different than what I expected it to be. But I'm not going to say no to anything by her, and especially Mythographics. So I ordered it and I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, have I colored in it yet? No, this one's fairly new. This is one of the other few that I haven't colored in yet. But I want to show you, I did not expect to find any winter pictures in a book that takes, you know, images that take place in the ocean. But it's a Mythographics, of course there is. So here is one. I love this page, and I really, really want to do this one, so I'm going to keep the tag on it. It's a hermit crab whose shell is a snow globe. I mean, is that not... That's awesome. And there is actual snow. It's a winter scene inside the globe, so this is definitely a winter scene, and this one could be so much fun. You could make the sand actual snow. Fabiana made it kind of fluffy, so it could be sand or snow that the crab is walking on. These piles of stuff that has landed on him, I would make it snow just to kind of make it a snowy crab. But you could also make it sand, either way. This is wonderful. I definitely want to make this into like a winter scene. Yes, supposedly he's underwater. And I'm just going to probably ignore the fact that this is underwater and just make snow and wintry and make these swooshies something shimmery and metallic and make him a bright color because everything's going to be so snowy and make him really stand out. I think this would be really fun to color. I think everything Fabiana draws is fun to color. She just has a style that's easy to color. So definitely this one's staying on my radar for this season. And then I found one more. Believe it or not. Yes, a narwhal. Now, narwhals are Arctic type creatures, and so they do tend to be pictured in wintry type scenes. However, there is a narwhal in Magical Earth, and it's not. It's like in a pond with lily pads. But this one is definitely winter. It's got lots of beautiful snowflakes to color. And then these stars that are coming from some magic that's coming from the horn of the narwhal. And then there's crystals. And then, I mean, there's coral and stuff here. And then there's this city. So, you know, it's all fantasy. And then there's seaweed. So is this all underwater? Is the narwhal poking its head up and we're looking through all this magic and seeing a city on the bank? I don't know. But isn't this a neat page? And I think you could make these any colors. This would be really neat done in pastels. We've talked about this before. I'm not very good at keeping a picture to pastels, so maybe not done by me, but some of you that are good at pastels, I'd love to see this page done. I'm probably not going to get to this one. This winter I have a lot on my plate, but I personally would probably do this as a night sky, and I would have this city kind of lit up like it's nighttime, and then I would look to tackle this like it's kind of a collage, like that here is the narwhal stuff, and then there's a city somewhere, and then he's just making magic in the air. So I would make these swoops different colors. I would probably use some metallic acrylic, this paper can take some water, but I don't have any metallic watercolor, so I'd probably use my metallic acrylic. Definitely make, I don't know if I would want to like go off the rule book and make the narwhal fun colors and then the crystals muted, or the crystals fun colors and the narwhal more of his muted colors. I don't know. There's a lot of opportunities for colors in here though, with shells and seaweed and coral. So really good stuff. This is a fun page. So if you've ever been wanting to tackle a narwhal, I mean, they're just the unicorns of the sea, right? here it is in this book here, Deep Blue Mythographics. Okay, this is Mythographic Voyage by Joseph Kattenbang, and probably one of the best mythographics there are. Would definitely be like in the top 5 of all the mythographics. Every page just tells a story, and I found a couple that I think could be winter pages. I was kind of surprised. I thought there'd be more, but there isn't. So this one, now she is in a short dress with no stockings on. And this is some sort of a rhinoceros beetle or some sort of beetle. And there are flowers inside the beetle. The beetle is glass. Can you see that? So he's made of glass, which is really cool. That's what's attracted me to this page. There's so much going on. But the thing about it is there's Christmas lights. So this page has Christmas lights. So she's playing her little ukulele in a little dress. So maybe it's Christmas where it's somewhere warm, you know? And so this one I would say is less of a winter page and more of a Christmas page. And it would be fun to do this. This is so different and unexpected for this time of year here in the Northern Hemisphere, at least, where Christmas is in winter. So again, I just realized that any of my Australian friends or Southern Hemisphere friends are like, well, this is so unrelatable to me because it's hot. Maybe you could put this video on save and watch it when we have summer and you have winter. But this one definitely is like a warm Christmas page. So if you're experiencing Christmas and it's warm, this one might be a fun one to do. Because it's beautiful. It's got all the fungus, the little mushrooms, and lots of pretty flowers inside the beetle. I mean, this could be really pretty with a lot of neat colors. And then the Christmas lights. It'd be fun to make this a night scene so that the lights shone different colors kind of shown on stuff. That's for people who are good with light sources, that would be great because you have actual Christmas lights up here that would be shining off the glass of the beetle, which is filled with flowers. So that's a lot of different colors and it would be cool. And this one, you actually see through the glass to see the Christmas light. So how cool would that be to try to make that happen? Just a lot of neat effects that are possible for this page. So this would be nice for a nice Christmas where you're either tired of the cold or it's not cold where you're at. And to make a really fun page. There's a lot going on here that would be fun to color. The other one I found in this book, in Voyage, is this one. This can be any season. But the reason I kind of would like to make it wintry is, yes, there are these, she's like she or he is sleeping on like, it looks like the broken hull of a ship, perhaps, because here's a boat here, or these could be anything. They look like planks or maybe a broken bed, or they could be, you could turn them into crystals if you wanted to. But it's the stars and it's the ballerina and the fact that she's kind of bundled up here. So I was thinking that this could be like the Nutcracker ballerina and or the swan ballerina. And this, it just kind of feels wintry to me. It's probably the stars and the ballerina and the sleeping. It just feels like it could be cold and wintry. And it's a beautiful page. I don't think I'm ready to tackle this page yet, but it could be that I just get an idea for it because it's almost like this person is on something that's breaking apart, going through the night sky in their dreams. Could be really neat, depending on how you wanted to take this story. So that's the other one that I found in Mythographic Voyage. All right, let's talk Mythographic Menagerie. Okay, this is a fantastic one by Fabiana Attanasio. I do have a page colored in here. I'm not necessarily showing you my colored pages unless we stumble upon them. You'll see them in other videos, and I might do a video of all my mythographic pages. But here is one that's winter. And it's cool because there's a lot going on here. It's like it could be space and stars, but because these are flowers here, like a plumeria type flower. I don't know. But it feels wintry to me, and maybe because the way these northern lights are done, they look like icicles, and this looks like snow. But then there's what looks like pyramids, but the pyramids also look like they have snow on them. So this could be like a, I don't know, a bull in space. He's got a symbol around his eye. It's a neat picture. It's really neat. And I think it would be fun to do this in a wintry style. The flowers would be fun done in sort of like very cool blues. So just the whole thing gives kind of a cool feeling. This looks more like snow than sand, but it could be sand. It's just an interesting page. I think it can go so many different ways, but it definitely could be made into a winter page. My book's not laying flat because I have this. This was a page I did for Halloween. I love this page. Those raccoons are just delightful. And then we have a page many of you know, and many of you have already done, and that's this red panda that has crystals for a tail. And this is definitely a winter scene. There's the snow, a neat moon that could be done, had some really cool stuff done with glitter gel pens and things. There's crystals, of course, and crystals in the tail. There's a lot of snow and snowflakes, and then that cute red panda with icicles. Yeah, this is definitely a winter page. With the moon out, it's like a night winter page, and it could be really gorgeous. In fact, the ones I've seen done are all gorgeous. You guys have done an amazing job with this page. So that's another one that's in Mythographic Menagerie. Okay, let's look at another Mythogoria. This is Mythogoria Night Terrors, another one by Fabiana Attanasio. This is an older one, 2022, I think. And this one is another one of my favorites. I like this one. Although I took a break from it for a bit, but I've come back to it. So I've been coloring it lately. And one page, it's right off the bat here, is Krampus. Now I have this one marked. I'm going to put one of my stickies in it because I'm definitely going to do this one this year. He's kind of really scary even for Krampus. He's got cloven feet and... You know, he's like the evil Santa Claus, and he's chained, but he's got a sack full of joy, which is actually skeletons. And he's got bells, and there's snowflakes and winter. So whether you made him into the goriest, scariest Santa ever, or just a winter ghoul, this is definitely a winter page that would be fun to do. And another one that kind of is a play on the gift giving with the pack on the back. It probably has an actual legend that it goes with, a mythological legend that it goes with. I don't know if it's Krampus, but there might actually be a myth, and I'll have to maybe do some internet searching. But this is one I do have on my radar. It's one I almost did in place of the one that I ended up doing. But this one I'm definitely going to do. And he's got the goat eyes. That tongue and crazy teeth. Yeah, he's a bit scary, isn't he? But I think this one would be really interesting to do. The next one, there are three in here. The next one that I found is, that's not a winter page. That's my mermaid baby page that I did for Mermaid. I don't have it marked, but because I just did it. It's this one. It's the Wendigo. It's the Wendigo. It's got snow on the trees and snow falling. I colored this one to be very shiny. I used a metallic acrylic paint in pearl pink and lilac to make the snow, which mirrored the colors I used in the crystals, but the crystals are matte. They're just alcohol markers. Not sure why I did the snow shiny and the crystals matte, but that's just what I did. I don't know. I mean, this picture evolved as I was doing it. And I did the crystals first because I knew they were going to be a big chore with all that outlining. And I wanted to get them out done. And then later I said, this thing needs some bling. And I did the snow last. So the snow is what's got the bling. Everything else is in alcohol markers. But this one's definitely a Christmas page, and I purposely did this in a lot of pastels just to try to do something and make him look a little less spooky. But he is spooky. Look at him. But this one's in here in this page, so that's another option for you. This one's gonna be. I just finished it. This is November, so this will be seen in my November finished pages video, which is coming out very soon. And then there is maybe that's it. Thought there was one more. No, that was it. That was in the other book that had one more. So these 2 pages were the ones that I think are good for wintry scenes in Mythogoria Night Terrace. All right, what would be winter without talking about this one? This is Mythographic Wild Winter. So every picture is up for grabs for winter in this one. This is Joseph Kattenbang. This is a beautiful, beautiful book. I had shied away from it. There are hidden objects. However, I found the hidden objects to be somewhat relatable and easily covered up. But everything, now I think this doesn't have to be winter. This has got roses and stuff on it. But most things in here, I mean, these are bells, Christmas bells with snow on it, and the big snail. I think this one's really cool. That snail's so cool. And here's another snail. This is, you know, you don't often see koi fish with ice. So this has got, you know, ice, and there's an elk here or a deer with a girl and a bunny. Just a nice winter scene. Hedgehogs. And these are like Christmas balls. This one would be so fun. They're adorable. Oh my gosh. And this is a cactus behind him. So again, if you have a warm Christmas, this would be a fun page for you to do, because you've got a cactus and some plant life, and then you've got these fun Christmas balls and flowers. Yeah. And the things I can see that are hidden objects, like there's a strawberry there. You could actually use that if you wanted to, or you could just color it like the leaves and it goes away. These are pretty easy to hide. There's something here, but that could be colored like leaves. There's a, I don't know, is it a bottle cap? But it could be another leaf. And there's like a bar of soap, whatever. But it could be a leaf. All those that I see so far, there's a lizard, but I wouldn't hide him. Sometimes I'm not sure if it's supposed to be hidden or not. There's a, you know, a bottle, but you could make it part of the trunk of the cactus. So when I've colored one page in this one, and I just colored over the things, and I have a hard time finding them now. Look at the manta rays. Now, I think this one is wintry because it's got snowflakes. Yeah, it's got snowflakes. That's beautiful. And there's a chameleon. I've seen this one done. This one's got snow on the, and she's all bundled up in a cloak with a lantern. So this could be a fun nighttime or an evening dusk type snowy page. There's a weird bird. Look, why is its head coming open? It's got crystals in its head. Honestly, I tell you, I probably wouldn't ever color this page, but I don't know why this one's winter. This one could be any season, actually. The snakes with the candles. I think this one's really neat because it's got like these hanging baubles hanging from everywhere that are like glass baubles, and then it's got like little stars around. This one would be neat to be made really sparkly. It's a snake on a chandelier, and it's got a little mousy and a spider. So it's a little spooky, but it's also with the snowflakes and the lights and stuff. It could be really neatly. This is another one where light effects will really be important, and it could be beautiful. You could make, you know, the snake complement the chandelier. You can make the snake shiny and the candelabra kind of brassy so that the snake shines out. It could be really pretty. I'd probably make the snake some kind of iridescent green. This one's really neat. Look, the jaguars or leopards running through what looks like crystal snowflakes. And there's, it always takes me a bit to see this. This is a snowboarder. It always takes me a bit to see him. I have seen this colored in magnificent ways, where the snowboarder just pops off the page, and these snow leopards are kind of recessed in the page. I've seen it done beautifully. I love this one. Now, I've always thought of this one as a spring picture, but maybe winter's coming. But this is like her kimono that she's wearing, these beautiful flowers, and they're cuddled up, but there is snow on the back of the fox there, and there's snow on the umbrella, but there's these flowers, there's snow on the flowers. So this is like an early spring snow, perhaps. Crazy little monkey doos. What are these things? This is like King Julian stuff, right? It's sad that some of some of my animal knowledge comes from cartoons, but I think this is King Julian. Anyway, they're in a tree. There's all these little terrariums. And I think it's winter because there's snowflakes. Other than that, it's not hugely winter. In fact, if you didn't want to make this winter, you could color over, you could use acrylic for the background and color over those snowflakes. This is the one, I guess I marked ones that I'm interested in doing. I'm very interested in this. I love the snow globe. I love glass. I am going to do the snow globe with the crab in deep blue. So I'm not sure I'll do another snow globe, but I might. This one's so dang cute. It's open at the top and the squirrel has crawled in. Isn't that adorable? So I am marking this one because this was one that I was thinking I might do this year. It's just got so much fun foliage. It's also could be for fall, just a snowy fall. It's the whole season. You've got the swans or geese, and they've got snow on them, and the little girl, beautiful. Elephant with crystals. Some of these pages are using crystals to give the idea of winter. She actually is in a fuzzy coat though, and in wintry clothes. Very cool picture. You've got the lion. I've never understood this picture. The lion's pointing up and the person is sitting here on the lion's shoulder. It's, I don't understand the orientation, but I love the picture because of the floating lanterns and the snow. I think this could be beautiful, and I think I'd like to do it. I do love this guy here, and I just love the whole composition. I don't understand what's happening in it, but I do love the composition of this one. Here you have, what do we have here? Maybe if I look through, is it a dress? No, it's a butterfly. Again, in a strange orientation. It's coming out of the chrysalis, and it's a big butterfly. But again, this could be one that there's just some baubles that could be shiny and bright. It doesn't have to be winter. Okay, this is another one that I had on my radar to do because of the light play. I'll leave this off for a second. Because of the light play, these little mice or little squirrels in these Christmas balls, and then you have the bough, the tree around you and all the Christmas ornaments. This is just so neat. And there's, sparkly snowflakes. I just think this would be really fun. And although there are no Christmas lights in this page, I just see Christmas lights reflecting off of these. So I think that's how I would make it or if I could ever get that bokeh technique down, having really like Christmas colored light bokeh effect in the background and that you can see through this glass, that would be neat. Never really figured out how to do it right. So maybe this will be the year I try that. Another narwhal. This is the narwhal I was talking about. No, this is not. This one is actually winter. She's dressed for winter. There's snowflakes, but the snowflakes are almost organic looking, like they're made out of leaves and stuff, which is really cool. There's a scarf tied around the pole. Beautiful, beautiful page. Really fun with an Asian theme to it. She's got a little bag there. And then this, the little shrines. I just absolutely love this one. This one, what could really make this picture would be the sky in the background, what you did with that. I think you could really set up this to be a gorgeous page. And there's snow in the trees. So definitely a winter page. This is a fun one, like the explorer for peace, climbing up a, Himalayan mountain or something. And in the sky is this magical otter creature. And there's brain fart, the northern lights, and the pine trees, snow on the trees. And this is beautiful. All of these are beautiful, aren't they? And then again, the swan, the little girl swinging from it. She's slightly wrapped up and there are snowflakes. A lovely picture, isn't this? with the tiger curled up with the cub and the girl. Just lots of fun things. Now, in this page, I feel the hidden objects really stand out because they're in front of the crystals. They might be, especially down in here, they might be a little bit more tricky to hide, but I don't think it's impossible. And see, like here's like this random woodpecker. Is that supposed to be in the page? And there's another lizard and a spider. Or are they part of the hidden objects because they were in another page? Here's another lizard. I would color them, make them part of the picture. Penguins! Now these penguins are in a ice cream bar. Now I actually colored a clear ice cream bar like this with a seal in it in another book. And then it was my first attempt at doing glass and I really loved it. It was a lot of fun. There's a lot of stuff going on here, a lot of little things here. So this one could be fun or a nightmare depending on if you like little baubles, which I like them. The bunny in the books, many of you have done this one. The winter bunny with the snow and the snow odds ears. This is precious, isn't it? You have the light sources of the candles and the trees. Absolutely gorgeous. And I love seeing versions of this. This one is one I just did in November this month. It'll be in my completed pages. It's the frog. It's the only one I've done in here. The giant frog climbing on the kind of, I made them, although they have trees growing out of them, this could be abandoned. I made it lived in, so I put lights in all the windows. I made them after the poison dart frogs, the red frogs with the purple toes. He's got purple toes. They're a little hard to see, but they're there. And the snow that I did, I made the crystals kind of the same colors at what you would, I made them very see-through. So like the crystals on the frog, where I did the frog a deep red, I did the crystals kind of pinks and stuff. Here I tried to pull in the colors from the sky, so it looked like they were see-through. Crystals are always, there's lots of ways to do them. You can make them shine with light of their own. These I tried to make them more like it's ice, like you could see through them. And then the snow, I was kind of tired of doing pinks and blues for snow. So for this, I did straight white acrylic, and then I did I did very thick layers, and I did like 2 of them. So it's bumpy. You can feel it. You can feel the snow. It's bumpy. And that's what I wanted. I wanted some thick snow texture on the page. So that turned out exactly the way. In fact, this whole page turned out exactly, except the background. I did distress ink, and I've worked with distress ink for years, and I'm still not very good at it. It still never blends quite right. But even though I don't get it blending, it doesn't look like the way it would have looked, and I got something dark right there. The way it looked in my mind, I always love the result anyway. So it's always a win-win. And then I forgot to color that vase right there. I keep meaning to get back and color that vase, but I've already fixed it, so I don't even know if I'll bother. But yeah, this was a fun one to do. This was one that I was torn between this one or the frog one. And because Christmas lights on glass, wouldn't that be fun with hummingbirds? Again, this would be really neat for folks who have Christmas in warmer weather. Hummingbirds and a moth and all the greenery. Kitty cat looking at fish. I'd like to think that the cat's looking through glass at fish, but there's a girl riding this fish, so who knows? And these are like real fish. This might be like a mechanical fish, and these fish are flags. So it's really fun. There's another one of those mechanical ones. Maybe they're all mechanical fish. Yeah, they've all got something mechanical hanging off them. This would be really interesting to color. You could do so many different colors. I love this one. The boy all bundled up with his scope there and looking at a whale going by the window. What makes this winter is that when you're looking up, you see the cracks in the ice of the water and him being all bundled up. This is a gorgeous page. Another fun thing you could do. And these are light rays coming down from where there's breaks in the ice. So really fun you could have with this page. Mama protecting her babies. This is ice covered bramble bushes. I don't like this page because there's an arrow. That arrow bothers me. Like there's more arrows. Like someone was trying to shoot these birds, but there's ice protecting them, and the mama, it just bothers me. It's beautiful, the mama protecting him, but it bothers me that there's these arrows coming in. It makes me a little anxious, sad for them. So I'll probably never color this page. This is a girl with a kite, like what makes this winter, but there is snow and a giant jellyfish. There's a lot going on here. Flying kites in the winter with snow. I don't know. And crystals. Fun one. I don't think I've ever seen this page colored. I'd like to see it. Rhino. Love coloring rhinos. And he's all crystally, and there's crystals hanging again, but there's butterflies and such. I wouldn't necessarily call this a winter page. I would probably do this in spring and summer colors. This one's lovely. I thought about this one too. Looking at the reflection in standing on ice and looking where the ice has broken and seeing the reflection, maybe having a drink. There's snowflakes and pretty little baubles hanging from the antlers. It's like a Christmas deer. Make this is a gorgeous winter picture. Oh, and I do know, I've seen several of you guys' videos on your plans for December, and a couple of you are thinking about doing this. And this is, I mean, why not? It's absolutely, and there's a little firefly here providing them light. In fact, there's quite a few fireflies. And then the tree itself has got some kind of swirly stuff going on. There's fireflies where you have sources of light. There's another arrow. Oh, I would color right over that. I would color over that. And there's another arrow. Quit shooting at the animals. I don't like it. Don't like it. And then all the plants and stuff. And it looks like this is snow. Yeah, there's snow on the mushrooms. I think this page is great. Just, could you please color over the arrows? I don't want to see arrows. I don't like the ideas of animals in danger. Okay, this one, I like this one. And I never thought of it as a winter page. This reminds me of a page I colored in the aviary mythographic that has the water coming down, and it's an animal with a fencing. That's like the one that I colored in aviary, but this is a turtle with, again, crystals. I think you could make this any season. There's nothing that definitely says it's winter. There's snow. There's just a little, what could be snow on the lamps. That's it. And a lot of would be difficult to cover up objects. Although this looks like a map to the turtle. This looks like someone lost their necklace. Someone left their binoculars. I would probably just color those. This just looks like a zoo and people left things and a kitty cat. I would probably color those in, make them part of the picture. This is one that I would color if I was, and I thought about it, but I'm not in the mood to color pandas right now, which is an odd thing to say. But these pandas are fun. I mean, there's bamboo, there's snow, there's fun things for it's like a little place for them to play. There's a lantern. There's the hidden objects are kind of fun. There's like a lizard there. This ring is silly, but you could color right over that, make it part of the foliage. I would keep the tire in. I don't know if it's supposed to be hidden. The teddy bear, I don't know. I'd wait till I come to it to decide if I want to keep it in or not. It's cute. Definitely would color over the apple and the carrot. See, the objects, some of them kind of make sense, but they're not the right, what the heck is that, a box? They're not the right size. Like if this is a panda bear, and this is a ring or a bracelet, this is not an apple. The apple would be bigger, the carrot would be bigger. This would be a teeny tiny bear. If they were, to make them part of the picture, you almost have to make them bigger so they actually make sense. Like I'm just going to pretend like that's really far away. That's why that's tire swing so small. But cute, very cute. I'm a sucker for anything with fish in it, so I have looked at this one many times. I put it off because it is very much a winter page. There's snow falling, there's snow in the trees. Yeah, she's all bundled up. It's like she's, in a dream world watching all this. It's totally up my alley. I'd keep the broken crockery there. I'd keep the bottle. She's reading a book on fish. I'd keep the bottles as bottles. I'd probably keep all the hidden objects I can see kind of go with the picture. Another bottle, another bottle. Yeah, I'd just keep those in there. This one, I've looked at many times. And I may actually tackle that one. In fact, let me put a thing there. Yay for peacocks. I can't ever decide if I love peacocks or I hate them color-wise. Live peacocks, I have no opinion whatsoever. But they're a lot to color. They're very busy, but they're so beautiful. And their colors are beautiful. Blues and greens and purples. I mean, come on, those are great colors. But they're always so much to color. There's so much feathers that I don't really do them. But this one is a neat one because it's also got this like metal. You could play with metal here, gold and the cage and stuff, and all of it looks very busy because there's stuff on top of stuff. There's the bird, and there is a lot of feathers, but there's also a lot of stuff that isn't feathers. There's snowflakes and a lot of opportunity to color metal. It would be stunning when it was done. I can guarantee you. I'm not going to do that one. Not this year. This one, I'm not great at coloring horses. I was raised with horses. I understand how horses look, but I've just never been interested in coloring them, partly because I think to do them right, you really need to use pencils rather than alcohol markers, and that's just too much pencil work for me, so I just don't do horses. But I think this page is so cool. If you like horses, this is a neat one. The way the mane flows, there's butterflies. I see this not as a winter page. I mean, yes, she's bundled up, but I see it as like just a cool breezy page. And the tail just keeps going. There's nothing that indicates it's winter, so it could be any season. So one thing that's interesting, that even though this book is called Wild Winter, so opposite day, right? The other books are not winter books, but we're finding winter pages. In an actually dedicated winter book, we're finding pages that don't have to be winter, so fantastic. This is another reason to shop your stash, which is something I just love to do. I know I talked about this in the intro, but it's so much fun. It's free. You discover pictures that you remembered or forgotten or don't even remember ever looking at. It's great. This page is in my head all the time. And the reason I've never done it is because I can't quite figure it out yet. I don't quite have what it takes to do this page. She's ice skating on ice or water. Yeah, on ice. There's broken ice. And she's got the swirly stuff. Joseph Kattenbang likes that look. There's quite a few pages he has where he has a ballet dancer or something in the middle who's looking up and who has swirly things around them. He likes that. But then it has these really cool polar bears in the part that's not frozen. There's also some lovely opportunities to do flowers and plant life and a fish. I have seen this page. I should actually look for a hashtag for this to see if I can find other, but I've seen one colored version of this page and it was stunning. Absolutely stunning. Perfect. I want to do it. I think, but this angle of water, I'm just not sure. Just not exactly sure how to do it. But if I want a puzzle one of these days, because this one kind of floats around in my brain all the time. This one I always forget is in here, this axolotl, and it's adorable. It's absolutely adorable. Look at these snowflakes and it's just perfect. Now, I can't quite tell what's the axolotl and what's the structure, because the axolotl goes this way, but then it comes back down here and goes this way. So, because that's the end of the tail. I can't quite understand what's happening here, how the axolotl is wrapped around this thing, or if it's just part of the structure. It's one of those part animal, part building things. And I'm not exactly sure what this is. So it's the only reason I haven't colored this one is I can't quite figure it out. So I thought I'd go on Instagram and look for people who have colored this and see what they did with this up here to figure out what's going on up here. But it's just, look at him. He's a winter axolotl. Look at his, he's got, And then the balloons. It's just a really cool page, and it has this feeling of movement. You've got the shooting stars in the background. The balloons are all going, which I think is very, very clever, that they're all going different directions. Like this actually, they look like they're being blown around. Her hair, it's just everything lends it to a lot of movement. It's a really neat page. And I keep forgetting about this one. That's why I love doing this. I find pages I've forgotten about. And then these owls. This page is just probably one of the most stunning in the entire book. These very ornate owls that are also like a ski slope. And look at these. And although I would definitely color over the upside down empty snowboard. Wow. Let's just cover that up. Here's someone hang gliding. There's a lamp. I mean, it's cool. It's like the owl is part of the mountain. And then it's sheltering the baby owl here. There's elk. It's a fantastic picture, and I've had it on my list many times and just haven't tackled it yet. I haven't really colored owls, so I'd have to use some reference. And this looks like, well, it's a great horned owl, right? So it's a very cool page. And then this one. Now, I know watching you guys' videos for what your plans are for December, a couple of you are planning on doing this one. This one was also on my list at one time, and I think I've taken it off because I have other ones I'm going to do that are light bulbs. But can you just imagine this one done as if you're in the tree? Again, that bokeh effect behind and the deer in the bulb. It's just beautiful. And all the hidden objects are fine. I probably would keep the apples in. There's several apples. I just keep them there. The bunny, sure. I don't see anything that doesn't. Here's an antler. I'd probably just keep it all in. But isn't it beautiful? And you have the little filament here so you could make light glow effect. Neat. And then the last one is another favorite of mine in here. I love this giraffe kind of through the spiral staircase. Like, I would love to sit down with Joseph Kattenbang, like, what were you thinking? How brilliant. This is very cool. Just a giraffe and then just build stuff all around it like that, spiraling around its neck. Very cool. Now this one, I think the hidden objects are more obnoxious. You know, the telescope's okay, I guess, because it's kind of in this spiral graphic thingy. But you know, there's a bug, there's a random, I would color over that. A random mitten. I guess the bugs might supposed to be there. But there's snow on everything. There's a girl who's lighting the lantern, so you have light effect. And she's in some lovely winter clothing. This would be, and there's another scarf tied around. This would be crystal hanging down. This would be a fun one to do. I would be inclined to color over the hidden objects in this one. I don't think they work with it. Anyway, so that was a full flip through of Mythographic Wild Winter. So if you have this one, you've got it easy peasy. There's plenty in here. However, I find some of the other winter pages that we're going to find more attractive, even though they're not in a winter book. So let's look at a few more. All right, let's look at my favorite mythographic, Cosmic Spirit. Y'all know this is my favorite because I work out of this every month for my hashtag Color the Tarot series, which is another video series on my channel. This one was interesting to look through because some could be winter or not. Now, this is one I actually colored. This is the Empress. And I chose to make this icicle and snow and to make this into a winter scene. Many of you have done this now. And whenever you do, as a side note, if you do any coloring of tarot pages, just tag me on them when you post them. And also use the hashtag Color the Tarot, and which I'll put right here. And I will find them and I will add them to the ongoing compilation video that I have. It's a video that I embed in the monthly Color the Tarot series video, and it's all of your pictures. So it's a growing video. It's beautiful. It's a lot of fun. And a few times a year, I release that video, the current version of it, just so that you can see it on your own without the rest of me talking and the rest of the videos, but just that on its own. And as the months are going on, more and more people are coloring this page. So we have 3 or 4 different renditions of it in that video now. And I think there is one that didn't do it as wintry. I think it's about 50-50 of folks who took this to be a winter page and one who didn't. But this is one that could be a winter page and also, count for some tarot coloring. This one, the Hermit, is one I thought looks very wintry. And I love this one. Now, you do not have to go in order for the color of the tarot, just any tarot page you color. I know originally I thought we'd all go move together, but that's not the point of this. The point of this is to color at your own pace and just see your finished work alongside others. So you do not have to go in order. Just post whatever page and just follow along in the videos with us. And I will get your page. Now, the compilation video is in order. It's got all the fools and then all the magicians and all that. It's like that. And it's really fun because when I see pages that are the same page but colored by different people, I put those next to each other. It's actually my favorite video. I sometimes just turn it on and look at it. This one I haven't done because it is further on in the deck and I am sort of going in order. It's kind of just the way my brain works. And, but I can't wait to get to it. Isn't it cool? Look, there's snow on the trees and the night sky and it's like blizzardy conditions. And there's lots of great light sources. This is going to be a really neat one to color, I think. Then we have this one. Now, I don't know if this is meant to be winter. I mean, these are kind of, lily pad-ish. It looks like it's a pond. However, it's got the candles and the starry skies, the swoopy starry skies. You could make this a winter page. And with Fabiana's, signature swoopy things, you could make this into like a really cold looking page if you wanted to. But it doesn't scream winter to me, but winter at a pond might look like this. So there's an option. This one I had tagged to do. I've since removed the tag because I'm not sure. I still love it though. This isn't any particular tarot card. This is just an illustration. This book has zodiac, tarot, and also just pictures, mystical looking pictures. This is my favorite mythographic. It's just a phenomenal book. And this is a lot of different runes hanging from trees. So this is kind of like a pre-Christian Christmas. So this would be like a solstice. And I think that's why I tagged this, because I was thinking about coloring this for winter solstice. In fact, I think I'll keep a tag still in there because I'd like to do this for solstice. It's so neat. And I always jump at any opportunity to color in this book. Anyway, it is my most colored book of my entire collection. But there's snow here. There's snow falling. It's a very surreal looking deer that's kind of nestled in a bunch of, these could be rocks or crystals. It's fascinating. So I am going to put a tag there and I'm going to keep this one. All right. And this was the last one here. Now this is a stretch as well. When I run into these space type looking, this is also just a filler page. And I say filler page. It's not a tarot page. It's not a zodiac page. It's definitely not a filler page. It's gorgeous. And it's definitely one I want to do. But space seems so cold to me that I think it could be a wintry page, especially with these blobs. Now I'm sure Fabiana Attanasio does that a lot. And so you can make those blobs into whatever you will. Every time I see them, I see snow, though. I have a hard time not seeing snow. But so this could be another winter page. It could be any season. It could be just space season. And that's Mythographic Cosmic Spirit. Now, right next to me, I have Mythographic Dream Garden. This one was very hard. This is not my favorite mythographic. I find the hidden objects to be problematic. They're very obvious. They're not attached, connected to the picture at all. This is an older book, and this is the way mythographics were done back then. They've changed over time because they heard us screaming from the sidelines, take away those dang hidden objects. So the hidden objects became smaller, lesser, more, more attributable to the picture, and then gone. There's no hidden objects anymore. But this one, which was printed, I got it in a 3 for $2 sale, it says. So this is 2021. It's not that old, but so it seems like they changed pretty quickly once they started hearing from colorists. But I went through to see if there was anything in here that I could make into a winter page. This one, there's butterflies, but there's also elk or deer. And there's these blobs again. So you could make this into a winter page, a winter somewhere where there's bamboo and butterflies and snow at the same time. So I don't know. I think that would be a stretch, but I think you could. And there really wasn't much else in here. This one, again, has the blobs. So I thought, well, it could be snow. It also has these little squirrels, these long-eared squirrels that we don't have on the west coast of the United States. It also has a freaking croissant. I mean, look at that. Ugh, why? Why do you do that to a picture? And a tape, what is that? Tape, video player, and they're very problematic. Look, a milk carton right there. How are you going to cover that up? So, this book makes me mad sometimes. But I like the images so much that I would work with it. I would make the sky acrylic and I would paint right over that stupid milk carton. But I think this could be a winter night sky, and those blobs could be stars, because most of them are in the sky. There's a couple that are not in the sky. Yeah, it could be. And then this one, same deal. There's runes. No, I don't even think those are runes. Those are like space writing, like alien space writing. And there's space out there. There's the blobs. It looks like snow falling. But then there's these flowers. As well as a crown and a candle and all kinds of stupid things in stupid places. Again with the old time filmy thing. Why? And then a lighter? I mean, come on. But it could be wintry. I think there's a lot more books out there with better winter pictures in it than Dream Garden. So let's move on to some more mythographics. As I said, I have a big collection. Okay, Mythographic Imagine by Joseph Kattenbang. Now this one, I've watched videos where many of you say this is your least favorite one, and I completely understand. The hidden objects are not hidden at all, and there are a couple pages where I think they simply ruin the picture, and there are a couple pages I have no idea what's going on. So this one, I think Joseph was still finding a style, and then he was told to put these hidden objects in, and so he did. This was 2019, so this is one of the older ones, and I got it from my collection, and I do like some of the pictures in here. In fact, one of my favorite pictures in all of Mythographics is in this book, but there's a lot in here I'm not crazy about. But I looked through, and part of the confusing part about this book is that there's so much here that could be winter because of the extra swirly stuff and the blobs. Now this one looks wintry to me because of the antlers, the dropped antlers, which happen in the winter, because she's like a deer. She's in long sleeves, but she's also in a little dress. She's like a little sprite thing. And I think it would be very easy to make this winter. There are flowers around the side, but you could make those into poinsettia type flowers or a wintry type flower. You could even make them into an early spring frozen type flower. There's a lizard there for some reason. But in this, imagine there's so much extra stuff going on. There's these things that look like thorns, and there's the swirly stuff, and then there's weird blobs. There's a lot going on in this book, and it makes it very hard to see the picture. But this one looks wintry to me, I think. This one I think also could be winter, mostly because of the swirly stuff and the blobs.
you could make that into snow. Although I think usually when they're shaped like this, Joseph intends them to be petals. But here's like a star wand, and I think maybe that triggered my brain to say, although it's a hidden object, triggered my brain to say that, oh, this is a winter page. And then, there's just a bunch of look at all this stuff in here. It's just a bunch of stuff that's not part of the picture. But it could be. You could make this lamp part of the picture if you wanted to. So this could be. I think this one could very easily be wintry. I would definitely make these blobs snow. And this metal could be really shiny. And I think this is one of the cooler pictures in here. The hidden objects are not as obvious. Like that glove there could be covered up. This brush, I think, could be covered up because it's in the background. This goblet could be. They're a little bit easier to cover up, and they're also not so obnoxious that you couldn't just color them in. This is some kind of a clip or something. That's ridiculous. But I think this could actually be a wintry picture. It could also be a festival picture because it looks like they have feathers in their hair. So again, swirlies, blobs makes me feel winter, and the fact that there's an elk here. Moose, actually it's a moose, I think. It's kind of a combo. However, there's also lily pads and a weird potted plant. This is one where, there's a fishies, and a birdhouse, and a broken bottle. I don't know. Boy, that potted plant is unfortunate, right there in the middle of everything. But there's so much, and the fish, part of the swoops of the fish's tails. A torch? I don't know. It could be wintry. Could be springy. Because there's a baby. Don't know. This one I think could easily be made into a winter page. And, all of this fuzzy undergrowth stuff could be snow. You have a little raccoon there, a little trash panda. But the old Christmas time jalopy that's been left in the woods, that's covered over. It's got a robot on top of it, which is interesting. And then the deer for some reason always seem like fall or winter to me. But then the deer's got a freaking watch on its antler. And what is that weird hat the robot? Oh, maybe that's the flying saucer the robot's holding. I don't know. There's a bird's nest up there. I'd probably keep that. But what is the bass fiddle doing there? I don't know. That could be a winter one, though. This one definitely is winter. It's got, I think, it's got the fox walking in a bubble. And then it's got all this blobby stuff. Now, the blobby stuff could be fish food or bubbles. It could be snow. This is another one where the hidden objects are pretty much ruined in this page for me. They're just everywhere. This is one I thought could be winter, and I think what triggered me was the blobs falling. It looked kind of like snow again. The crystals. You could put snow on those fish pretty easily. But then, what in the world what's that? A hat? And what, a propeller? Ugh, the hidden objects in this book are so annoying. Okay, here's one that I like. It's hard to see what's going on. There is some sort of fox spirit here. And there is a woman who is melting. But there's also like these Puria type flower. There's also these little flowers, plumeria flowers. So it's probably a spring picture. But then there's the candle. There's incense burning. And there's just a bunch of crap down here that doesn't belong in the picture. Maybe. Not really convincing winter ones, is there? I think this is the only convincing winter one in this book. And there is a giant snowflake. All right, it's winter. And there's seals, and there's conch shell, and there is a polar bear, and more snowflake, and a big old ice cream cone. This one's actually kind of fun. The hidden objects are pretty hidden. There's like a thermometer there that'd be easy to cover up. I don't really see much else. That's nice. Yeah, you could do this one. Yeah. This would actually be a nice one to do for winter. Really fun. And you could highlight whatever you wanted to draw your eyes to. There's so much on this page that, look at the baby polar bear. You know, you could just pick what you wanted to highlight and recess everything else into the background or something. It's a cool picture. But that is all I found in Mythographic Imagine. Mythographic Aquatic by Joseph Kattenbang has literally no winter pictures in it, which would make sense. It's underwater. It was also put out in 2019, and it has those obnoxious hidden objects. However, this one has a soft place in my heart because it was the first mythographic I got, and also it's underwater themed. So I actually have done a couple pages in this one, and I actually like this one better because I'm willing to be a little bit more forgiving with it because it's a theme I really like. I did find a couple of pictures. This one, again, because Joseph likes, at one time, really liked these circles and put them on every page. You could almost make them into snow here. Some pages you really can't. But this is underwater. This is also back when he did a lot of the shading for you. He doesn't do it like that so much anymore. I think you could make this into a desolate, icy, snowy scene. I think you could. This one I wanted to show you because I initially thought, oh, look, wait, no, this is a jellyfish, not a snow globe. Yes, that's a fox, but surrounded by jungle, flora and fauna. I definitely don't think this is a winter page, but it just jumped out as winter to me because of the animal encased in something translucent with what looks like snow all around. But I don't even know how I make this into a winter page, maybe. I think you can make anything and anything. This I highlighted for you because I wanted to show you again Joseph's dancer on water, spinning. It's just a thing that he likes. And I have seen this page done beautifully, too. This is the last one I highlighted in this book because I think maybe of all of them, this one could be wintry. It is underwater. There's a mermaid. But this creature is very wintry looking. He's part fish, part winged, part wolfy looking with antlers. And these things could be done like snowflakes. But since it's underwater, you'd probably do them like bubbles. But I think this one could be a wintry one. And that's it for Mythographic Aquatic. Okay, Mythographic Aviary, aka Joseph all growed up. He got rid of those annoying swoops and blobs and things that we didn't know what they were, and he stopped doing the dotted shading on things, and this one does not have any hidden objects, which is not a Joseph decision. That's a mythographic decision, but Joseph has really matured, and this is a 2023 book. And I did find some winters. One of them is one that I colored. I think this one gives a very cold feeling because she's all bundled up in a cloak and it's kind of outside and it's in this cavey area. This is that one that the turtle, the other book of Joseph's where it had a turtle with a fencing and it had water coming down, reminded me of this. With someone, walking along looking at this bird and there's this water coming down. This is where I had an opportunity to practice making things look like looking through water, which kind of takes the color away from things. So I did it monochromatic gray tones where this is. I don't know if it works, but I also put some shiny stuff on there. I think it's Kiritake Ganzai Tambi, the Starry Night colors. And I made it a night sky. I think you could make this wintry. I think it does look wintry. I made these into clouds, but you could make that snow, these little poofy things along the walkway. And you could make, I made this into the roof of a cave, but you could make it all ice. So you could definitely make this into a winter page. I tagged this, let's see. Yes, I tagged this one. Just to show you, here's another one of Joseph's, a ballerina with the looking down on her with a swirly dress. This time she's not in water though, she's swirled in birds. It's just a popular theme of Joseph's. This one I love. Look at it. It's so cozy. The bird's bringing her tea, and she's in a teapot drinking tea, but she's all bundled up. This is more fall, but the leaves are falling. And, you know, the warm tea, you can see the warm steam and the cool, this has got to be cool air because you're seeing the warm steam. It's warm. She's got a fire going, and she's all wrapped up in a blankie, even with her feet all curled up. And she's got a hot mug of tea. I definitely think this is a nice, fun winter page. It might be more fall than winter, but it's definitely the cold side of fall. And I've been really craving coloring some cozy things, so I think I'm going to put one of my stickies in there because I think I might want to color that. Then we have the two true winter pages in this book. And have you seen a cuter winter page than this? I mean, come on. That's just about the cutest thing. I think it's so different from his normal style. It's almost like someone else drew this. But look at these cute little penguins, fat, chunky penguins sitting in a sundae. They've eaten it all. Oh my gosh, that looks so delicious. Not the penguins, the cookies and the candy and the ice cream. And that's that. That would be adorable this year. And then there's another one, this one. I think this is beautiful. It's sort of a nod. It could be spring too, because look, there's flowers and this is greenery. But because it's a deer and there's things hanging off, I think you could convert this to be wintry. It's probably more spring than wintry, but it's a beautiful page and would look good this time of year. All right. Now I've got one more book to show you in this line. So hold on. And the last one I have is another spooky one. Now there is another Mythogoria, Gory Nightmares or something like that. I don't have it. It's more popular, scary character themed, and it just never was one that ever really called to me, so I don't have it. But I have the other. So this is the other one. There's nothing wintry in this one. This one is based on the concept, and this is Fausto Bianchi, the first time we've seen him. This is based on the concept of a very, very scary, gory circus. So there's no reason to have winter pictures as a circus. But there's a couple that could be. One is one that I happen to have colored. Because of the dead tree in the background, because of the bundling up of the clothing, you know, I think this is winter. I think but I think it's more like you just say it's winter. It doesn't, there's no snow or ice or anything. It's not necessarily a winter page. So, you know, but it's more of I colored this, I think in the summer, but it would be great for a fall winter coloring. The only other one I really could think of was this one. Mostly just because it's a night sky. But she's not dressed for the winter. But, yeah. I mean, you'd have to add a lot to it to make it winter. So there's really nothing in this book. And that's all the Mythogorias and Mythographics I have. Now, I don't have Frozen Fantasies, I think is what it's called. I can't imagine coloring that much ice, so I've never purchased that one. But that would be all wintry type stuff, right? And I don't have Dream Garden, I think it is. And I think those might be the only two besides the brand new ones, Labyrinth and Fabia Atanasios got a fairy one coming out very soon. I'm so excited. She's already starting to post little sneak peeks on her Instagram. So let's move on to something that's not mythographic or Mythogoria. This was my largest chunk of books that of the same type. And so let's look at some different sorts of books that also have winter and Christmas in them that you might be surprised. Okay, let's look at a few Lulu Mayos. Other than the Kawaii Tarot coloring book, I only have these and I don't color in them very often. I find the paper very problematic for the mediums I like to use, and I have a very hard time coloring in these. This one actually is uncolored. I got it because I got it for almost nothing off of Book Outlet, and at the time I was thinking I'd like to collect all of hers, but I think I would like to have the Monsters one that she has out, the most recent one, but they are difficult for me to color in. And in this one, there weren't many winter ones. I did think that there were some with presents. So if you have Christmas in the summertime, this might be fun. A llama bringing presents with the cat blowing a horn. That might work. right? If you were in the Southern Hemisphere. This one did seem Christmassy to me or wintry to me. I think you could decorate this in all fun Christmassy colors, whatever they mean to you. You do have ladybugs and flowers around down here, but you also have a lighthouse and, you know, you have a lot of stuff. But I think you could make this one count. This one over here, now this could be wintry mountains. You could, but I mostly tagged it for this one. Again, you've got like a little elfy creature riding a flying llama bringing presents. I mean, it could be a summery Christmas picture. I don't know what Christmas is like when it's warm and flowery and everything's in bloom. So maybe this resonates with you. This one here, I thought also because he's leaving the present on the doorstep and the llamas are like, what happened? Who's out there? I think this could be a summery Christmas one. But really, there were no winter ones in this book. In A Million Sea Creatures, which I got because I do love the ocean theme, and I've colored the most in this one, we do have a Christmas picture. We have this one. And I'm going to tag this one because I just wish the paper, this paper is so strange. It's a good weight. It's just what it is. Watercolors pill up and dot on, the paper pills easy, and the watercolors separate and become dots. They don't really work. Gouache works better. Anything that's thick and not too watery. I find watercolor markers streak. You can't use alcohol markers because it's double-sided. Most pencils don't work well in this, but some do. I've been okay with polychromos, although it's not a fun experience because this paper is so slippery. Pencils just sort of slide all over it. But if I can bear it for a double page spread, I'd love to do this one for Christmas. Isn't that adorable? This is all stuff I would love to color. And if it was on single-sided paper, I would whip that out with alcohol markers. I may think, well, see, and then I also, this one here, because of the penguins bringing presents to the seal who's reading a book, this could be a Christmas picture too. And you could actually make, you know, there's lights here. You could make this very Christmassy. But also, if I could bring myself to sacrifice the other side, I could just use alcohol markers. It's hard for me to do that. Even if I don't think I'm ever going to color the page, it's hard for me to do that. Oh, that's what I've colored. Yeah, I used watercolor markers, but they streaked really badly. Took more time and effort than it should have. This one looks very wintry to me. I think it's the penguins in stocking hats, and a penguin cup, and then all the lollipops and stuff, and then the puffins up there. That could be wintry. And then I thought this one was kind of fun. It's a whale and a little creature bringing presents. It could be a summer Christmas one. And then we had A Million Magical Creatures. And in this one, I only found one that I think would work. And it's this one. It has cats in boxes. They could be presents. It's a rocking horse. It's a little winter clothed gnome thing. Snowflakes. I think that'd be a really pretty Christmas picture. You can make these ribbons like in, well, this, yeah, it looks like fabric, like ribbons or something. You can make it in golds and silvers. It'd be really beautiful. I might go ahead and just keep something on that. All right, that's Lulu Mayo. Let's move on to Kenoko Egusa, who is another one of my favorite artists. And I recently heard a colorist say that Carolina Kubikowska is one of their favorite artists, although they've never colored a single picture. And that's kind of how I feel about Kenoko Egusa. I have colored several, but I had not near as many as should be for the amount of time I've owned these books. This is a book from 2016. I haven't owned it since 2016. It was published in 2016, but it is one of the very first coloring books I've ever purchased. It's gorgeous, and I have nothing colored in it. And partly is her artwork. This is Minuet de Bonheur, and this partly because I have a hard time finding what I can use in it because it's double-sided. It's a little on the thin side, so I'd be careful with water. And it's such big paper and big that I don't want to do pencils on it. For me, with my arthritis, it would be really hard. But I want to color every single page. I mean, her artwork, I think we all agree, is on another level. Just unbelievable. And in the Minuet book, I found this page. Now, it's right next to a page that I wish I was doing this at Halloween time. I did shop my stash for Halloween pages, and I didn't even think of going through Kenoko Egusa because I would have loved to have done this. I'm not in the Halloween mood anymore, but what a cool picture that is. But this one I think could be wintry. It's got, winter type foliage around fall and winter. It's got, chickadee and kind of like sleeping foxes. So I definitely think that has a fall or winter vibe to it. And then there's this one, which of course, we have Cute here, which has got snowflakes and the wreath, and they're all bundled up. And how adorable is that? Oh my gosh, that's really adorable. And then we have this one, which I'm actually marking because it's going to be a maybe for me. I love this kind of patterned wallpaper. I would just do gel pens for the small part. I'm not sure what to use for Kenoko Egusa. In her Garden of Fairy Tale Animals, which we're going to look at next, the paper's a little different. And I actually have used watercolor in that book. But is that not awesome? Happy little hamsters. She just has a style that is so soothing to the soul, don't you think? It's wonderful. Okay, next, let's look at Garden of Fairy Tale Animals. So here's where Kenoko Egusa gets confusing for me. This is Garden of Fairy Tale Animals, which is a reprint, an English edition, and this one's actually printed in the United States, of Rhapsody in the Forest, which was printed a few years earlier in Japan, right? Yeah, so Garden of Fairy Tale Animals is a revised translation of the original Japanese book Mori ga Kanderu Rhapsody, which is Rhapsody in the Forest. And Rhapsody in the Forest was originally 2016. This is a reprint in 2022. Interesting thing is, the book I just showed you, Minuet de Bonheur, is a Japanese printed book, and the paper is not as good as this one. The paper in this one is much better. So usually it's the other way around. However, I like the illustrations better in Minuet. I'm not crazy about a lot of the illustrations in this one. There's a lot of wallpaper, but I have done pictures in here actually. Of course, it starts off with ones she's colored, which are brilliant. But right off the bat, and this was the very first page, now I have to tell you a story about that. This was the very first page that I've ever colored as an adult colorist. And I used watercolors. I used Rosa watercolors on this. And I absolutely loved it and didn't realize that I hadn't cracked the spine that you had. I didn't even know you had to. So when I cracked the spine, whoops. There's this whole middle part that isn't painted. It's already fixed and everything, so I'm never going to get that painted. But I did this, and I was so proud of it. I haven't done a Kenoko Egusa page that I liked better than this one. This was the very first one I did. So yeah, it's this in this book. You're following the path of this key. They're passing the key on from animal to animal, and the key is going to unlock a magic land at the very end. But I had so much fun doing this double page spread. Mousy, he's so cute. And I was really proud of my mirror and this was a lot of watercolor and pencils too. I actually had some pencils in here. And the bookshelf and that kitty cat. But I think I was most proud of the light on the ladder and on the book. I really liked this. That's not a winter page. But I did do that one. I did do this one, testing out some gel pens. That was fun. I did this one with watercolors again before it was after this one, it was during this one that I realized that I learned about cracking the spine. So this is a double page spread. I've never finished this side. I was going to make them two different seasons I was even thinking about, or this one be the stormy sky and this one be a bright blue day, but I haven't gone back to it yet. So let's get to what I think might be good winter pages in this book. This one, I thought. For some reason, these guys look like, they look wintry to me. I don't know why. Part of it is the, whatever fruit this is, these look like choke cherries or gooseberries, and they do this in the late fall, early winter when they're ready to be picked. And then there's the birds and top hats, they're owls, and I just think this would be a cool page for this time of year. Lots of wallpaper type pages. This one I tagged for this page, the wreath. It's a wreath of apples and oranges and kind of like, and pine cones and things. I think that would be really neat. Straw tie, if you want to do something that's a different sort of wreath, a more natural wreath. Oops, I missed one too. Oh yeah, there's this wallpaper page, which I would never do in 100,000,000 years. But it's all snowflakes. Those of you that like wallpaper could make this so beautiful. Those swans are like made out of crystals. And this could be so shimmery and blingy and beautiful. And I hope one of you does it. Because I will never. In fact, I wouldn't have a problem sacrificing this, except I don't want to do that page either. And what's on this side? Oh, yeah, I wouldn't do that either. See, there's just a lot of wallpaper in this book that I just don't do that stuff. I like pages that tell a story. Okay, now we get into some true Christmas ones. And even though this one is kind of wallpapery, I kind of like this. It's just got like ugly sweater vibe going on in the background. And then these reindeer, I think it's really neat. I would actually like to whip out my paints for this background. I think it would be fun. This paper can handle minimal watercolor. Like this page I did was quite watered down, but at times, but it worked fine. Gouache works well in here. Pens work well. I haven't found anything that doesn't work in this book. This is another one. I won't do this one, but I think it's beautiful. Tree with ribbons, and there's candy canes. It's like one of the first winter pages I've shown us that have candy canes. Okay. Here's some more. This is a double page spread. This is the corgis. What's interesting is it's just like snowflakes and cute little shooting star things. There's a tree with lantern, but then there's also flowers. Why do people put flowers in? A night scene, B, a winter scene. I don't know. I never know why flowers are in the snow, because this is snow. There's snowy pine trees here, fir trees. There's a tree outline in the background, I think, and a little old church. And there's all sorts of different light sources, all these candles and lights. This could be so stunning. This would be one I would tackle. I think it would be challenging and fun. And it tells a story. These dogs looking up at all of these different light sources in the trees and such. But why is that big flower there? I don't know. Why are there flowers? Fun, huh? I think that'd be beautiful. So if you have Rhapsody in the Forest or Garden of Fairy Tale Animals, it's the same book. And it's this one. So here's a cute winter one. They're ice skating. And he's bringing her some roses. Something I'll never do. So what's on the back? Something else I probably won't ever do. But it's wintry, look. They're having a cup of tea. And she is unraveling she doesn't have any knitting needles. Is this one unraveling this one's sweater? That's hysterical. And then I actually kind of like wallpaper that's actual wallpaper. I think that's kind of fun to do, and it's fun to make it look vintage, or I like to make it look dirty or yellowed or weathered. I like to make wallpaper look like that. Here's some cupcakes and macarons and things that might be interesting. And then I think that's it for the winter stuff in this one. I do have one more Kenoko Egusa. I don't have the symphony one. Symphony in the something. And I really do want that one. I've seen flip-throughs of that and people coloring in that. And it's got more of it reminds me more of Minuet. And I think I'm very interested in that one. But she has 3. right? She has 3. And I only have 2. But I do have another Kenoko Egusa source. So hold on, let's get it. This book is longer than than my space here. This is a Coloring Heaven Enchanted Animals special, and it's the 100th issue of Coloring Heaven, and they celebrated it by having it all Kenoko Egusa. So this is the only Coloring Heaven I own. I'm not really into them, but it had Kenoko Egusa, so I had to get it. I have colored a page in here. I colored this one. This was the one where the kitty cats are dreaming, they're sleeping. And I was experimenting with a lot of different things, which is why it's one explosion of crazy colors. I was trying to get a feel for this paper. So let's look at what she's got in here that's wintry. She's got this one, and it goes this way. And now I think we can come in. There we go. So this is definitely Christmassy. There's a sleigh and reindeer. They're talking to some Christmas fairies, and it turns out these two are going to be delivering presents. You'll see in a bit. There's candles. I think this is just absolutely wonderful. And if I'm going to do a Kenoko Egusa winter page, I'm going to do it out of this Coloring Heaven because there's a couple that are just adorable. So this is one. This is those same kitty cats. Boop. Same kitty cats, and now they are off with their 2 reindeer. Is that just a mitten hanging out? I don't know what that is. I don't know. Well, there is kind of like random stuff. There's a hat down here, and anyway, acorns. It's cute. There's rabbits, there's mittens, there's snow, there's a little snowy village. This is really wonderful, and a nice little scene with the birch trees, and it's just all set up for Christmas. So that's an option, although I think I like the previous one better. And then there's this one, which is just delightful. I mean, although they don't have pupils, you kind of put them in. These are the cats. And they're kind of in the tree, or they're looking at the tree. They're either looking back at the tree or they're in the tree. Look at them. There's the wonderful stocking. I actually enjoy coloring knitting to make it look real. You know, you just sort of make the divots darker to give it some texture. There's a tree there. There's some baubles that could have lights shining off of them. Kitty cats under blankets. I mean, that's cute, isn't it? That's adorable. So that is all the Kenoko Egusa winter pictures I've found. And I know that many of you have these books, so don't forget them. They're absolutely adorable. All right, let's move on. Hello, everyone. So it's a couple days later, and I decided that this lovely video that I'm putting together is going to be longer than I thought. So I'm going to break it up into a couple of videos. But I just wanted to show you what happens when I spend this time with you. So here is Garden of Fairy Tale Animals, Kenoko Egusa. And I showed you earlier in the video that I've done a couple pages. And then I showed you a couple pages I'm interested in and a couple pages for Christmas I would never do in a million years, quote unquote. And look what I did. I should not say those things, because what happened was spending this time with you talking about possibilities made me look at pictures I would have never looked at. I would have just glossed over this one, and I got to looking at it and I was like, this could be a lot of fun. And my brain was really wanting something repetitive. So I did it. So maybe this is what y'all say you enjoy about mandalas. I don't do mandalas, but maybe that's what this is it was so repetitive and so much fun. I got some shiny goodness. It's all, the other thing I'm happy about this is that it's all in, except for the shiny bits, it's all in Ohuhu water-based markers, which I think are some of the worst markers that you could ever pay money on and aren't worth the advertisement that gets us to buy them. But I just figured I just went slow and went over it in cross hatches in different ways, and I minimized the streaks. It still does, I find that the ends of these are the brush ones, the brush nibs that they fray, they make the paper pill. They're like the worst of the worst. Like, they don't bleed. Well, they do. See, they shadow and they bleed through. So they do that. That's some extra water I got on it. So they leave shadows, they bleed through. So I don't want to use this on anything where I want the other side. And they're not and they streak like crazy. But I need to use them because they're in my stash. I bought them. And I liked the colors for this. I'm not crazy about the colors they have either in the set I have, but I got to use them here. So this was really fun. So guess what else happened? Yeah, I did this page too. This is all because of you guys helping me and watching my videos. And I want to show you, you know, Christmas pages and non-Christmas books and winter pages and unusual places. And so I did this, and this was also a page I would never ever do in a million years. Look at that wallpaper page. I don't like wallpaper pages. I got to quit saying that because I enjoyed this very much. And on this, I used a lot of acrylic. I tried to use the markers for these big spaces, but it's just terrible. No matter what I do, they're streaky. So I used red and black acrylic. And I did all the black and some other things. And then I went back and started to do the red. And I got about halfway and I realized that I really liked the black and white. And how cool this picture would have been if I would have done the tree in color and the rest of this in black and white with pops of color here and there. And so I left it. I left it half and half because I want to remind myself that sometimes less is more. And one of my favorite things to do in quilting and painting and all kinds of things is to have pops of color on top of black and white. So that's what I'm going to keep this page to remind me to try that out some more, to leave things just black and white with a little bit of gold. The shiny bits as some of the is partly this. This is those pens from the dollar store. It says Zebra Doodlers. I don't know if it's the actual Zebra brand though. This is the dollar store brand. And then a gold Sakura glaze pen. Yeah, so look at that. 2 full pages. They don't go together, so it's a little bit of a headache causing menagerie here. Yikes. But little smash up. But I did it because of this video. So I'm really excited as I move forward to make the second video and edit it and get it out to you. What else I will find that I would never, ever, ever in a million years end up coloring. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.